everybody? It's your boy Wes Grind. You're watching Sub Urban Nerd. This is the channel where I give my nerd views on today's nerd news. First topic on the nerd rundown is THR is reporting. Hold on. Remember yesterday I was talking about how Universal Pictures Studio, whatever, they were talking about pushing back the Fast and Furious 9 movie until 2020. And I was talking about how, maybe they should, they're taking their time, they're thinking it right because they're doing the whole thing, they're gonna check the script and get it right. And then, but I also mentioned how they were talking about the spinoff of, with the Rock and Jason Stathams. Well, it turns out that is the reason why they pushed it back. THR has reported that Fast and Furious spinoff with the Rock's Luke Hobbs and Jason Statham's Deckard Shaw, it's being slated to come out July 26, 2019. And they've got this franchise screenwriter, Chris Morgan, handling the script duties. So that's pretty much what is going down. Like it's the movie with The Rock and Jason Statham that's kind of pushing it back because they're like, yo, let's focus on this. Which a part of me is not sure if maybe they're just they're fast tracking this because the Fast and Furious crew, like the people on it, they're not really liking. Like say Tyrese, for instance, he went on Twitter and he was basically blowing up the spot like, yo, before it used to be a family, used to be this, with us. Now The Rock comes in, no one gives a shit about us, and now they're just fast tracking with The Rock like they ain't even from the original crew, and somehow they got a spinoff. Well, that's what happens when you're The Rock, bruh. I mean, Tyrese, I understand, but you ain't no Rock. That's what's gonna get them the money. Granted, I think the Fast and Furious franchise were on elevated to get better because the movies were better after Tokyo Drift. The action and stuff was being ramped up and it was going on a trajectory high. But once they added, The Rock in it, it was like they called The Rock, what's it called? Franchise Viagra. And I don't know what other franchise other than the Fast and Furious that he really just reinvigorated. But people love seeing The Rock and shit. Jason Statham, I'm sorry, he's my man crush, yo. He's my man crush. No homo, but like, yo, like I watch this dude, like I fell in love with this dude's action style ever since I saw him in The Transporter when I was working at the movie theaters. Granted, he was in other movies, like he was in the one with Jet Li, and he was pretty good in that. But when I was like, yo, this dude is awesome. It was when The Transporter, and then all of a sudden he was just flipping around and just beating dude's ass and driving. Like, yo, I was like, yo, this dude. Ever since then, his trajectory was just like up there, like with Crank and just all these other movies. Transporters, the trajectory of like the quality of the movies went down and down as it went on. But him, I just loved seeing him in action movies, and now you see he's like the live. Him and The Rock are like the new age action heroes. Like besides, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone, it's Jason Statham and The Rock. Like those two, like you always expect these action films when it comes to them. So teaming them up together for a spin-off movie of their own, it seems like it's a good idea. I mean, like Tyrese tweeted also like #FastFam. Wait, no, #Team D Wayne. And it's like, okay, we feeling a little salty. I get that, but can't knock the hustle. You know what I'm saying? Like you're doing mad. You were doing a bunch of movies. Granted, you didn't have your franchise like this. You didn't have the connections to these damn movies that are making these $1 billion or whatever, like, or these high grade movies like The Rock does, because people ain't on you like The Rock. I'm sorry, The Rock just has this charisma. Sure, you bring your charisma to that Fast and Furious, but you're the wacky, silly, stupid guy that says crazy things and acts kind of goofy, and that ain't getting you into franchises like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry, Tyrese, but I understand where your hurt's coming from. But The Rock is just The Rock, and Jason Statham is Jason Statham, and they putting those things together. It's like Reese's peanut butter cups, yo. It's just gonna be good. And I'm kind of looking forward to it. I just am. But that's it. Oh, and also, the one that's directing this spin-off movie is Shane Black, the guy that directed, the Iron Man 3 movie. Granted, you can say what you want. Maybe you didn't like Iron Man 3. I liked it somewhat. I liked it a lot better than Iron Man 2. And most of the things that people didn't like about Iron Man 3 was the twist at the end with the main villain. I'm not going to say any more about that, but that's pretty much the only thing people had a problem with it. And of course, the Gwyneth Paltrow, I didn't even like her like that, but she looked sexy in that movie when she was all sweaty wearing the workout suit. I thought she was a little skinny frail thing, but she does look sexy. But that being said, that movie, looking forward to it. Next, we got Deadline reporting that Bill Condon's You know it's your fault for having a last name that looks exactly like condoms. I'm sorry, that's his fault, and it's his parents' generation for not just figuring out to change this thing. But it's Bill Condon's Bride of Frankenstein. It was pulled from Universal Studios slate. They were already deep into production, and it was set to release on February 14th, 2019, but they pulled it off because Universal was like, hold up, let's think this over. How about, all right, you guys go, don't call us, we'll call you. That's pretty much what Universal did, because production has stopped, and they've got the screenwriter David Coep finishing the script. Also, The Wrap reported that they wanted Gal Gadot to come in and play the Bride of Frankenstein if Angelina Jolie passed on it, because they initially had Angelina pegged to do this role, which I could definitely see it. I could definitely see Angelina Jolie playing the Bride of Frankenstein, because, you know, after seeing her, how she looked in Maleficent, she's just got this face and this, like, kind of, I guess, like, slim, bony face that would be great for, granted, Angelina Jolie's beautiful. Like, I dated a girl before that looked just like Angelina Jolie, and all my friends used to tell me that she looks like her. But granted the fact, Angelina Jolie, they do use her for a lot of different movies. Like whenever there's something, Angelina Jolie, choose Angelina Jolie. I mean, you can use different people, and now they're going for Gal Gadot. Why? Because she's a hot thing right now. And granted, how I feel about Gal Gadot is that I love her as Wonder Woman. I do. Like, I'm like, yo, I don't, it's like I'm getting paid to promote the Wonder Woman movie, because that was one of my favorite movies of 2017. But as far as her acting in other movies, she hasn't impressed me. Her in the Fast and Furious franchise didn't impress me. She was just a pretty face, didn't say much. They could have gone with or without her. She's been in other movies, which there hasn't been any talks of her. So, like, they didn't say she was bad, but she didn't stand out. You know what I'm saying? So her taking on the role, she's pretty, but I don't know about her as the Bride of Frankenstein. You can always get, like, there's thousands of actresses that are just trying to wait for that break. Just get him someone. I understand you want some high profile stuff, because that's the way that's the way the industry works. You get the high grade people, like the people that are known, the A class, B class, whatever, and you put them in the front as the leads, and then you try and bring in audience. But Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise, that worked perfectly. Like, he wasn't known, but that movie did great. So you can do that. You can definitely do that and make it work. So you don't need the A class or B class actors and actresses to make a movie great, or to bring in people. Just have a great story, great script, great acting, and it will work. So as far as that, and also the Mummy, the original Mummy, I like the way that was. Like, they need to figure out what their personality is for these movies, because the Tom Cruise movie with the Mummy, that didn't work out. Why? Because no one knew what it was. Because, like, in the beginning, it was kind of creepy, because when the plane crashed, and then, you had Sophia playing the Mummy, and she was, skeleton-like, and it sucked the life out of it. It was legit scary, the way she was moving. And then when the mummies and the rats, it was actually creepy and scary. And then it just got over-top action. It turned from a scary movie to, like, one of Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible movies, which is over-the-top action. And you didn't know what it was. Just like with the Mummy, with Brendan Fraser, it was great. It was, like, they knew what they were. They were campy, fun, action, and that's why it was successful. Even until, like, the one with Jet Li, I still enjoyed it. Only thing I could have done without is them switching the wife, because that lady from the first one, I loved her. She was prettier, funnier. The one in the second one and to the third one, you can see there wasn't as much chemistry with Brendan Fraser. She just didn't seem right, sort of like when they changed the mom in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You all know when that happened. It just didn't seem right, but whatever. So I just want them to figure out what they want this universe to be, because I think they did premature. They didn't need to make all these connected like a franchise universe. It's because they saw Marvel and then they saw DC doing it. They figured maybe they could do it. And y'all aren't Marvel and DC. Y'all can do individual stories. You can do the Wolfman. You can do Frankenstein. You can do the Mummy. You can do Dracula. You can have them separate. And then you can spin off even from there, those little things. So you don't need to put them all into one universe. You could actually have them and just have little mini franchises of them. Like, that's how you be smart about it. So them taking time to get the script right, it's a good thing. well, maybe it'll work. I'm hoping that it works. I don't wish any studio or anything to fail. It's just I get disappointed when you guys just rush and jump the guns and do things just because you see it's working. You know what I'm saying? Think about things, and we'll all pay to see it. You know, that's all it takes. So that's pretty much it for that. Next we got Deadline reports that the original Pirates of the Caribbean director Gore Verbinski is making a deal to direct the Gambit movie for Fox. Ever since they got Channing Tatum, they've been championing this movie to be made. Like they were talking, and initially the budget was like 150 million, 200 million or something like that, which was crazy. And then you know why that thing got put on pause and held up? 2 movies, Deadpool and Logan. Deadpool got made for what, 80? Or initially it was like 30 something million, but I think it's estimated about 50, 58 million. Deadpool was made, and then it just crushed. It made like 700 million, 800 million, yo. And then Logan, low budget as well. Bam, they killed it. So then the people that are putting out the money were like, whoa. They made a great movie with only like 50 million. Why are we giving you 150 now? Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, it's been through a bunch of like directors. It's been through Doug Liman first, and then it was through Rupert Wyatt, which is the director of Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and then now the one that's in talk is Gore Verbinski, and yeah, hopefully he stays on. You know, I hear he's a really good director, but I don't know when it's gonna happen. It's sort of like the whole DC thing, where it's like they keep talking about it, but nothing's going on. So hopefully it works, because I'm Channing Tatum. I kind of want him to, because I think he would make a pretty good Gambit. He is from Louisiana, I believe, so it's sort of his dream to play this character. And then Gambit is a great character. He's a good, cool character. Like from X-Men, the animated series, definitely he's got that suave. And even in the movie that people don't like to remember, but Wolverine Origins, that Gambit was pretty cool. Like fighting against him in the Wolverine Origins video game, it was definitely cool. Fighting on the billboards, like the sparks and whatever. So it's a good character that has a lot of potential. And Channing Tatum, he's shown that he's definitely got acting chops, and he definitely could do action. So I want to see him. I want to see him finally do this, because they keep talking about this, keep teasing him. If at this point, he's never stepped off board. He's never said he wasn't down to do it. The dude's just waiting for it to happen. But I think it's like they keep sending him letters like, "Don't worry, guy, hang in there. It's gonna happen." But yo, Channing Tatum ain't worrying. He was just in Kingsman, The Golden Circle. Like the dude. He's got work, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, and then he's doing the 21, 22, 23 Jump Street. Anything he's in, I'm definitely looking forward to see him. Next we have the Pacific Rim, the Comic-Con kind of news. They've got images that out for the new Pacific Rim, and I actually have like a little teaser trailer that's showing like I guess promotion, sort of like when the army is like join the army, whatever. They have that for the squad that's doing it in the Pacific Rim, that are fighting the Jaegers that are fighting the thing. So I try to see if I can put a link down to that below, but also a link down to the trailer, because it's a pretty good trailer. Only thing is that they look like Transformers, and I don't know if that's a bad thing, but one of them looks like Bumblebee, another one looks like if you watch Transformers Prime, the dude had like a boulder. Like, it looks like they took characters from Transformers, just made them super big as buildings. So I don't know how that is, but hey, this is taking place like a decade later. So they pretty much probably tried to make it mainstream so that younger kids and like more hip can go in and join the army or Jaegers. So that's probably why it sort of looks like that, because the other one was gritty, because the other one was like a dystopian world where like these kaiju were just destroying everything, so they had to, out of necessity, make these Jaegers, these big hunky robotic robots to fight them. And now after the Jaegers, after the haiku or whatever, the kaiju were defeated, they've had all this time, to streamline, make these Jaegers, and just, get more people in to do it. So that's why you're like, yo, I want that one, the new flashy thing. That's what it's all about flashy, get the people in. So I'm not hating it, and the trailer definitely looks good. So definitely down for that. Also, they've got, Guillermo del Toro was originally supposed to, direct it, but he stepped away because he's got so many things to do. But now the one that's helming is the Daredevil Season 1 showrunner, Steven S. DeKnight. So, if you love the Daredevil Season 1, I'm definitely looking forward to this movie then. You know what I'm saying? Because like Daredevil season 1 was great, so definitely looking forward to seeing what they do with the Pacific Rim 2 Uprising. Last thing for the Comic-Con, they were talking about like they premiered a little snippet of Gotham by Gaslight. It's basically an Elseworld story where Batman is in London and he's taking on the Jack the Ripper, and like even all the characters like Two-Face, Harvey Dent, you've got Selena Kyle, is Catwoman but not Catwoman, but all these people, and then it's like old English style or London style Batman in that world. So it was a very popular comic book, so definitely looking forward to seeing this anime series, because I love DC's anime series. They kill it when it comes to their animated movies. The movies, they're kind of behind on Marvel, but as far as the cartoon animated movies, they be killing Marvel. Then also, they're talking about in Comic-Con, they're talking about the Doomsday Clock. Basically, if you don't know what that is, basically it's DC merging with the Watchmen, and it's all because of Miss Dr. Manhattan doing this. So you're gonna find out more how this is gonna happen, how everybody's world is colliding, how the history is messed up, and like it happened during the time when Superman died, and that's when Dr. Manhattan came in and started messing with everything. So I'm definitely looking forward to finding out what happens more in this Doomsday Clock kind of scenario. So that's pretty much it. So thank you guys. Remember to subscribe. Check out yesterday's nerd rundown or the nerd news. And remember, I'm Wes Grant. You've been watching Urban Nerd, and you've just been nerdified. Sorry, a little bit off. Trying to get things done. All right. Catch you guys next week, Monday. And I'm probably gonna have a lot of Comic-Con stuff, so just stay tuned. All right.